Hi there, Donald here from Prepforce. Prepforce is your free tool for preparing, transforming, and loading file data into Salesforce. Typical users of the Prepforce platform are those that have outgrown Salesforce's data loader and dataloader.io, but are not yet ready to graduate to a full data integration platform like integrate.io. Prepforce is built on top of integrate.io's platform, so you get to leverage over 10 years of engineering and Salesforce expertise, delivering you a clean and modern UI, a cloud-hosted, scalable solution that does not impact your computer's performance, and over 220 low-code data transformations to clean and normalize your data before loading into Salesforce. If at any point you outgrow Prepforce's capabilities, you can always upgrade to Integrate.io's full data integration platform. So let's hop in and take a look at Prepforce. First up is our connections page. This is where you grant access to both your source and destination connectors. So for Prepforce, in order to ingest your files, you'll need an SFTP connector. If you don't have an SFTP connector, you can use a service like SFTP to go to set one up in less than 5 minutes and then add that to the platform. And that's where you'll ingest your files from. And then second, you'll create your Salesforce connector. That'll use your username and password, and that'll be where you'll push your data out to. After those connections are set up, you can then proceed to start building out your pipelines. So I'll click on packages and then create a new package. We'll name this one demo and proceed to the package designer. As you'll see, the package designer is low code, point and click, drag and drop interface, really built for ease of use. The first step I'll do is add a source, which is our file storage. That's where I'll choose my SFTP connection. I can then specify the file I want to ingest. So I have a file called customer and it's a CSV file. With Prepforce, you can ingest data from essentially any file type, whether it's CSV, Excel, JSON, XML, they're all supported. After that then, if you have specific delimiters, you can choose those or a custom one. And also then, as well as that for string qualifiers, depending on your requirements. For me, I'll leave them as default. And then next up, I can get a quick preview of my data. And so what you'll see appear on the left here is the available fields. This is fields in your file. And then the ones over here on the right are the fields that we've selected to bring into our platform. And then down below is just a quick data preview of your file data. So that's step one, ingesting the data onto the platform. Step two is then doing data transformations. So there's two types of transformations. There's a table level and field level. So all of these, like a clone, a union, filter, are all what we call table level transformations. And then our select component allows us to do transformations on a field level. So I'll just click autofill and bring in the fields from my previous step. For my transformations, I want to add two new columns. The first column will be a concatenated column of the first and last name. So what I'm going to do here is click on this pencil and it'll open up our expression editor. And you can click through here and view all the different expressions and transformations. For me, I want to use this concat function. So I can hover over it and see what it does and see what it expects in terms of function. So I'll put in here my concat. I'll then choose from my fields. And I want to put in first the first name, then I want to put a space, and then I want to put in last name. So that's my first function built out. I'll then name this new column as full name. The second column I want to add is then a lead source. So first I can name it as lead source, and on my file that I'm ingesting, I don't have any lead source. So I want to make sure that every row that gets brought in from that file is assigned this lead source, this fixed lead source in the column lead source. So what I want to name it as is Q3 event. And then that is all my transformations done. So next up, I can proceed to my final step, which is to load it into Salesforce. And with that, I'll choose my Salesforce connection on the destination. I'll then proceed to choose the bulk API. I can choose from 2.0 or 1.0. I'll leave it as 2.0. And then my target object. So we support all custom objects, standard objects, custom fields, standard fields. They're all supported on the platform. For me, I want to load into our lead object. And in terms of operation types, again, all the various data operation types are supported. For me, I just want to do an assert only. And then lastly, if I want to do more advanced options, such as maximum errors or thread count, or output my files to a CSV file, I can do that. For me, I'll just proceed and then to the final step, which is to map my fields. So I can click autofill here, and then that will fill out the ones it can automap. And then for the rest, I'll just assign those, and I'll delete this column here, and then to assign this, I want to put this full name as primary. And that is my columns fully mapped to my Salesforce object. So I can save that. Once I have this done, then I can click up here on this button and save and validate. That just checks that there's no errors in my pipeline. And once that's done, then I can proceed to run my job. So I just click here on run my job. I can choose a cluster to run the job on. And once I have that done, I can click run job, and then it runs in the background. So once that runs, it'll deliver the data into Salesforce. And then anytime I want to rerun this, I can just choose, come in here, reuse this pipeline, change the file that I wish to use, and then it'll run the exact same transformations, so I don't have to rebuild anything. Or if I have a completely new pipeline or transformation that I need, I can start from scratch and build another new pipeline as I wish. So that was a quick demo of Prepforce. If you think this could be helpful for preparing and loading your data for Salesforce, feel free to sign up and get started.